Good morning. Welcome to Time in His Word. Have you ever been wronged by somebody? Maybe somebody borrowed something from you, money, whatever, tools, whatever, never gave it back. And then when you asked them about it, they pretended like they didn't know what you were talking about. Has anybody ever just mistreated you overall? I'm sure we can all answer that in one way or another. But this morning the question is, who is the bigger person? The one who forgives and forgets, or the one that holds a grudge and thinks of ways of getting back at the person that wronged you? I'm going to read 10 verses this morning and then not say much more because they're pretty well self-explanatory. But all I want you to remember is, if somebody has wronged you and you're thinking of ways of getting back at them, take and think about what these verses say and think about who is the better person, the one who forgives and forgets, or the one who holds a grudge. Luke, the 6th chapter, starting in verse 27, says this: "But I say to you who hear, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. Whoever hits you on the cheek, offer him the other also. And whoever takes away your coat, do not withhold your shirt from him either. Give to everyone who asks of you, and whoever takes away what is yours, do not demand it back. Treat others the same way you want them to treat you." That verse right there, that verse 31, that's important. I think that sums up everything that we're going to read and hear this morning. Is we're treating people like how we want to be treated, 9 times out of 10, that person's going to treat us the same way. It's a two-way street there. Continuing on in verse 32, "If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. If you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners do the same. If you lend to those from whom you expect to receive, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners in order to receive back the same amount." Verse 35, "But love your enemies and do good and lend, expecting nothing in return, and your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High. For he himself is kind to ungrateful and evil men." We can say that's for sure if you think about the cross and everything that Jesus went through on that day in order to die for us, and his blood covers our sins so that we can spend eternity with him. Verse 37, "Be merciful just as your Father is merciful." And finally, verse 37, "Do not judge, and you will not be judged, and do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Pardon, and you will be pardoned. Give, and it will be given to you. They will pour into your lap a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. For by your standard of measure it will be measured to you in return." Now, having read all that, the question I asked was, who's the bigger person, the one who forgives and forgets, or the one who holds a grudge? After reading through all that, we're thinking, yeah, but I don't want to be taken advantage of. I don't really want to be walked over. I think there's a fine line there between being taken advantage of and being walked over and trying to get revenge on somebody who's wronged you. Could be wrong, but that's just how I think and look at it. So think about that today. Think about people who's wronged you in the past or whatever. Think about who would be the bigger person, the one who reaches out and says, "You know what, I forgive you," or the one who holds a grudge thinking a way of doing payback.